So hello everyone, today I'm going to review my Masters of the Universe New Eternia Skeletor. So here he is over there, he's made by Mattel, so I'm going to do a review of this guy today. First off, let's look at the box. I still have it right here. So here it is, it's made by Mattel Masters of the Universe New Eternia Skeletor. So it's got nice little sort of like gray skull rock designs for the back. Masterverse. So yeah, he's got 30 points of articulation. Let's look at the side. We got here Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction. Got some nice artwork of Skeletor, sort of that's him in his Barbarian Skeletor form. There he is. And here we are in the back. You can see that, yeah, original designs inspired by classic concepts. So this is Skeletor, Evil Lord of Darkness. Using his mastery of mystical havoc energy, the madman Skeletor uncovered the violent spell that can forge the Scimitar of Chaos, a weapon that collects souls and grants ultimate power to he who wields it. In an undisciplined hand, however, it will bring about the end of Eternia. To be master of the universe, he must first master death, but at what cost? So, there we have Skeletor over there, with a really cool artwork over there of Skeletor, sort of Barbarian Skeletor. We got He-Man, I think that's Viking He-Man over there, Tila, Skeletor, and Merman, so the other things available in the packaging. So here we have my Skeletor in his Barbarian form. It looks pretty cool, he's got this nice helmet. It's not removable, of course. If you look at him really closely, he looks kind of reminds me of the Lord of the Rings ghost. I mean, he's got a goatee over there. And he's got, of course, his cape. This is removable, by the way. I'll be getting to that. He's got this must be his scimitar, as we read in the back. So this is his scimitar. And this is, of course, his Havoc staff, his traditional weapon from the cartoon. So he's got swappable hands. I'll be getting into that. But this is Skeletor up close. I'll be getting into the articulation a little later. But here's a good look at Skeletor. He's got his nice pale blue skin. He's got this little purple hue in his belt and armor. There he is. He's barefoot, but no, he's got 5 toenails. So this is how he looks. So he's about 7 inches tall. So he's roughly in scale with Mattel's WWE figures. So here he is, Skeletor. So now let's get to the articulation and some close-up detailing of my Skeletor. So wow, when you look at him up close here, he really looks like that Ghost King in Lord of the Rings, the third movie. Those guys who helped out mop up the orcs. It really gives me that vibe. He looks like the Ghost King over here, especially with this goatee. That's a nice close shot of his goatee over there. Now for his articulation, his head's removable and it's on a ball socket, so he can nod and he can also turn all the way around. I'm not just going to turn it all around, but yeah, he can turn all the way around and nod. It's on a ball socket. We've got his arm. His arm could, spread out. Can twist all around as well. Oh, not from the bicep, but it could twist all around like this. There we go. He also has the little bicep swivel over here. Double jointed elbows, so you can get a full curl. It's just a little bit impeded by his muscles. So he's got that going on for him. His hands are removable, but they can turn around, go up and down. So he's got that going for him on the arms. His abs, not really abs, but the upper part of his chest can go up and down. And he can turn on the waist. So he really reminds me of a WWE figure. And he's roughly the same size as those guys, as those Mattel WWE figures. It's on the ball and socket here, so you could, his leg can go all the way up like that. Go all the way back, impeded a bit by his skirt. Go all the way front like that. Double jointed knee, so you could get a full curve. There we go, full curve. Yeah, this one turns around over here on the calf, and much like his wrists, his ankles, they can turn all around, go up and down. So that is the articulation of this Skeletor, and let's also take some time to appreciate his detailing. There's the there's his helmet over there. It's got, you know, got this nice little, reminds me of some bat-like designs, and kind of like an opal or a gem here in the center of his forehead. So this is Barbarian Skeletor. He's not exactly the one that I watched in the cartoon before, but this must have been one of the earlier concept art of him. I like this little crossbones he has, and this little, I think, supposed to be a red jewel. Got these nice little, well, lack of a better term, lapels that are stripped like that, and he's got a little sheath there, you know, so he could slide in his scimitar. So yeah, works like, whoops, works like that. So he could store his sword back there. Got little nice back muscles over there. He's really ripped, you know, for a skeleton, he's pretty ripped. And now let's get to his skirting. He's got a nice little lavender sash slash belt with what I am assuming is a panther for a belt buckle. And then this thing kind of reminds me of like a Roman gladiator, so it looks pretty good. He's got this little skirt, like gladiatorial skirt, and some fur in it, because, you know, yeah, that's good. Looks good. Nice molding over there. He's got his little shin armor over here. Again, it's got these nice little designs that you could see over there. Nice little detailing they put. And his feet. So, you know, he's got 5 toes, sharp toenails. So he's not like the cartoon where I'm used to him having boots. But still, later on I'll show you that you can make him look more like the cartoon, more like classic Skeletor by swapping out his head. But, you know, that's a close-up of some of his detailing. He's got abs and a belly button, and he's got these forearm fins. So there he is. So that's Skeletor, up close. So, moving on to his accessories. First, this is his swappable head. And it's a more traditional Skeletor look. So this looks really more like classic Skeletor, you know, and also from the cartoon I watch. Except for the red eyes. I mean, that Skeletor just got black hollowed eyes, but yeah. There it is. There it is. Skeletor. That's his alternate head. Looks more like classic Skeletor. He's got 2 swappable hands. He's got this open left hand. And he's got this fist over here for his right hand. So in case you want to make Skeletor punch something, he's got a fist hand. Of course, he's got his scimitar, like, you know, what we read in the back of the box. He's got this. So nice little nice sword right here. You can notice that it's got nice detailing. It's all nicked and scratched, so he probably used it a lot, so that looks very good. And it's got a nice hilt over here, as you can see. Nice detailing on the hilt, the coils and the little design. So this is his nice little sword that of course attaches to his back. And of course he's got the Havoc staff over here, which looks really nice. I like the way it looks, you know, it's kind of lavender. It has this ram, looks like it's a ram skull, a big ram skull, a menacing ram, all the fangs. There, it's got this nice detailing over there. It ends on a little ball on the bottom. So Skeletor can hold this. It's a little heavy, but that's cool. But yeah, it feels a little bit heavy. It's like solid plastic. So that's his Havoc staff over here, which I've also seen a lot, you know, in this cartoon. So now I'm going to show you guys, you know, you can make from Barbarian Skeletor, you can easily swap him out to make him poppable head into more classic looking Skeletor. What I like to do in my Skeletor is I kind of pop that hand off and I put his open face hand. Whoop. Let's just get that in over there. There we go. And this hand, it currently looks like a trigger finger. I just leave that one on. But you could swap it out for the fist hand if you like. And I like to put his Havoc staff over there and make him hold it. And this guy looks more really like the Skeletor that I know from the animated cartoon reruns I used to watch back in the, I don't know, early 90s, or I used to watch in the early 90s or late 80s, although it did come out in 1983. But I used to watch reruns of that show as a kid, and I really enjoyed it. And this looks like the more classic Skeletor that I know, except for the fact that this guy's on bare feet. There he is. And it looks good. Either way, either as Barbarian Skeletor or Classic Skeletor, it looks pretty good. It's a good figure all around. If you're wondering about the height, it's around 7 inches, so he scales up pretty well. He's kind of like a Mattel WWE action figure, height-wise. So, a 7-inch figure of Skeletor. And I really like the way he looks here. He really looks like the traditional Skeletor that I know, with a "He-Man, you boob!" kind of looks like that. and I like it. I'm really glad I was actually able to get a Skeletor. So this is him up close.
You're too late, He-Man, you muscle-bound boob.
To give you a sense of scale, this is my He-Man next to a WWE Mattel Elite figure. So he's next to Drew McIntyre. So he scales up pretty well with him. Here he is with Playmates classic Donatello, you know, his fellow 80s cartoon alumnus. So to give you an idea, that's pretty much his size. So he's a little tall for a Marvel legend, if ever. But for me, he scales pretty well with a WWE figure. He's kind of like John Cena's height or Roman Reigns' height. I mean, Drew is around 6'6", so roughly around that height. So he scales up pretty well. So my final thoughts on the figure are, I like it. It's a nice figure. He's got 30 points of articulation, as the box says. And he's pretty articulate. You can get him into pretty nice poses. And I like the fact that you could swap him out to Barbarian Skeletor or make him into normal looking classic Skeletor like here. So yeah, I like this figure. This is actually my first Skeletor figure. I've been watching He-Man when I was a kid, but you know, I wasn't able to buy the figures back then, so I was able to get this guy now as an adult. So, and Skeletor is one of my favorite villains because he is kind of funny. I like his voice, especially the classic Skeletor. And you know, with all those memes of him running away, crack me up. So Skeletor was one of my favorite characters growing up as a kid. Kind of like he's a villain, but he seemed kind of lovable in the 80s version. So overall, I think this figure is a good representation of him. I mean, maybe I could, you know, his eyes are red, and in the cartoon it's sort of just pure black, but that's cool. I'm cool with that. And the detailing and the sculpt of this thing is nice. The sword looks cool, and the cape is nice too. Although I prefer to keep him looking more like classic 80s cartoon Skeletor. He looks good for me in either way. And props to the Havoc staff and the extra hands. So overall, I like this figure. Anyways, that's all for this review, and I hope you guys enjoyed.